Welcome to Extracurricular Activities. I'm Stuart.
I'm Kate. And today we've got not one, but two in-studio interviews. But first, we'll get to News of the Week.
Thanks, guys. And first up today, the story that keeps on giving. Mark Zuckerberg has this week testified to the US House of Representatives, admitting he was among the 87 million users whose data was exploited by the consultancy firm Cambridge Analytica. Despite admitting he had little control over his data, Zuckerberg repeatedly defended the company's privacy policies and systems, claiming every user of the platform has on-hand controls over where their information ends up. Zuckerberg admitted regulation was inevitable, but was somewhat scant on what this might actually look like. To Syria, where an alleged chemical attack by the Russian and Syrian governments last weekend in Douma is increasing tensions with Western allied forces. The World Health Organization, while not able to confirm a chemical weapon has been used, did report that around 500 patients demonstrated symptoms such as the severe irritation of mucous membranes, respiratory failure, and a disrupted central nervous system, all signs of exposure to toxic chemicals. Donald Trump is pushing for a forceful response once responsibility for the attack has been established, warning the Russians in a tweet the missiles will be coming in nice, new and smart, and claiming Russia should not ally with a gas-killing animal, seemingly referring to Syria's President Bashar al-Assad. Both Russia and the Syrian government deny the use of chemical weapons, and Russia has warned against potential retaliation, promising any missiles launched at Syria would be shot down and their launch sites targeted. To sport, and Australia has had what is being described as a golden night on night 7 of the Olympic Games with 4 gold medals. Brandon Stark cleared an impressive 2 metres and 32 centimetres to claim gold, as did Catherine Mitchell in the javelin with a whopping 68.92 metre throw. We also run 2 para-sports medals, with Isis Holt bringing home the women's T35 100 metres and Cameron Crombie the men's F38 shot put, throwing 15.74 metres. And to traffic. Sydney's rates of congestion is already rated as one of the worst in the world. However, one commuter's drive was made significantly worse when he was punched through the window of his Jeep by a shirtless man clearly frustrated with the early morning rush hour. Dashcam footage shows the two men brawling amid the traffic, and the pair are soon joined by another man in high visibility clothing. The attacker is pinned to the road and, after an exchange, walks back to his car where he pulls out a chainsaw. At this time, the Jeep, however, has pulled away. A lucky escape. And on that note, back to you guys.
Thanks, David. Hopefully the roads are a lot better today.
And now we're joined by Patrick Bell, who was out and about yesterday, our field reporter, looking at streamed classes and some research around that.
Yeah, so the research was looking into the kind of influence that your peers can have on you in school, and it's come to the conclusion that the best way to organise classes is not to stream according to ability, not to put strong students with strong students and lower ability students with lower ability students. The reason for this is because lower ability students, this research has found, are most likely to be influenced by their peers, and so it's best to give them a mix of students to interact with rather than people who are also struggling and also need that kind of assistance that can really be provided by stronger students in classes.
So how did they recommend that the classes be organised?
So they're not a fan of random mixes. They think that we can do a much better job than that. It's important to recognise the researchers are economists, so they're not educational experts, but their recommendation is that we be a bit more deliberate and a bit more careful about how we mix classes, and to make sure that we give all students the ability to interact with a variety of different students within that classroom environment.
Yeah, sounds very important and interesting. Well, let's have a look at the story now.
New research from the University of Wollongong has shown the quality of a student's peers at school could affect their academic performance.
So we were just trying to understand what, the people that you hang around with at school and you're surrounded by at school, how they can affect your actual test scores when you go on in education later on.
Dr. Sylvia Mendelia is one of the authors of the research and says lower ability students are most likely to be influenced by their peers.
If we have all weak students grouped together, they are likely to be penalised and suffer quite a bit from this sort of grouping.
The findings suggest using ability as a way to sort students into different classes may not be the best approach. A more deliberate mixture of students could be better.
What we think is that it's important to provide a variety of opportunities for students to interact with people of different abilities.
The study measured the performance of British students doing their A-level exams. It found students in the bottom 20% could see an increase of around 50 points on their exam scores if their peer quality improved. But for stronger students, the effects were less pronounced. But while the effect of peer quality is important in determining how a student might perform, it's by no means the only thing to think about.
There are individual ability, non-cognitive skills, family, socioeconomic status that plays a very important role.
Patrick Bell, UOWTV Multimedia.
So now after all that research, what's your stance on it?
Well, I am a firm believer that we do need to give all students a variety of different people to interact with in classes, and that means not just putting strong students with strong students, but I also think it's important to note that there's a lot of different factors, as Dr. Mendelia has suggested, that go into how a student performs, and this is just one of those.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Pat. Can't wait to
welcome.
see you next time with another brilliant story.
Thank you for having me.
Now it's over to Culture Vulture, where we're at a Sculpture Awards ceremony, and it was presented by Gordon, not Ramsay, but Bradbury. Let's check it out.
The winner of the 2018 Wollongong Acquisitive Sculpture Award is Michael Purdy in his piece Steel City.
I think my choice of materials always puts me at an advantage in acquisitive prizes because this sculpture should age with dignity and be here a long time, and all those materials have been sourced locally.
Speaking of the material, I noticed a lot of it here. You can see it's very heavy industry. Was there any particular reason behind using?
The theme of the exhibition, the brief that we got really was to respond to Wollongong's sense of place. And it's basically contrasting the heavy industry that made Wollongong with a lighter approach to heavy industry in the form of this tall vertical column here. You can see straight through it, and it's that transparency that's meant to represent a much lighter impact on the environment.
Congratulations to the winner of the Sculpture Award, Michael Purdy.
Yeah, it looked like some of those were really great. I wish I could have gone along myself. Well, now we're having some talk of zombies and polio with President of the UOW Rotaract Society, Diksha. Well, we're very pleased to be joined by the President of the UOW Rotaract Society, Diksha. How are you going?
Good, how are you guys?
Yeah, good. So, I heard a little rumour that there's going to be some zombies on campus.
Well, you heard right. So basically, the UOW Rotaract Club is hosting a Nerf battle called Human vs. Zombies, which is a fundraiser to end polio now. Essentially, the zombies are going to be there, and it's a Nerf battle that's on campus, and the zombies represent the polio. So essentially, you're trying to eradicate polio.
So where do the funds that you're raising going?
Well, it's going to the charity End Polio Now, which helps to provide medication for little kids so that they get the required medication to make them immune from the disease that is polio.
And how do people get involved? Because it sounds like a fun cause.
Yeah, it definitely is. So basically, there is a link up on our Facebook page through Humanitix, which is a ticketing website, and you can buy our tickets. It's only $25. You get a barbecue meal with that and 2 rounds to play in and have the utmost fun with Nerf battles.
So, besides killing zombies, what else does the Rotaract Society do on campus?
A lot of other things. We are majorly a fundraising society, but we host a lot of charity events and things like that. But we also recently hosted a personal development workshop, which aimed to give back to the uni students and help them professionally develop their personal skills as well, and kind of just groom them into the future leaders of tomorrow.
Nice. And so if we want to get involved with the Rotaract Club, where would we go?
So we have a really active Facebook page, so you could see what we do there. Or instead of that, you could always turn up to our meetings, which is every other week at Thursday, 6:30 p.m.
Nice. Well, thanks very much for joining us, Disha, and good luck battling those zombies.
Thank you, my pleasure.
And now our reporter Tori tried out for the UOW netball team for UniGames. Here's how she went.
I'm about to go take part in the UOW netball trials. I'm really excited. I've been working out at the gym, making those biceps nice and strong so I can really give it all I've got. But yeah, I'm super excited to hopefully make the team for UniGames this year. It's sweaty, but we're having some real good hustles. Everyone's getting out there and giving it a good crack.
I think it's a very, very promising sign to have this many girls show up. We would like a few more boys, so boys please come try for the mixed netball, but really, really impressed with the level of skill and level of talent that we do have at UOW for netball.
So we've just wrapped up the UOW netball trials for 2018. The girls all had a really good crack. We're still hoping to recruit a few more boys for the mixed netball team. Teams will be chosen before Friday, because on Friday there's going to be a friendly practice match against another rival university. Tori Ellis signing off.
I was loving Tori's sweet netball skills there. I have no doubt she's going to make the team.
Well, good luck, Tori. Now, our reporter Brad went to the UOW Music Society's lounge room sesh. Here's what he got.
I'm Brad Sullivan and I'm here in North Wollongong for the UOW Music Society's lounge room sessions, and we're just here listening to some great tunes, and it's durries and beers abound here tonight, so you should really be down here checking it out yesterday.
Don't try to fight the feeling, 'cause the thought of love is killing me right now. Thank God for...
So how do you think it went tonight?
I think it's great. Yeah. Everyone seems to really enjoy it. We get great numbers, like more than 50 people hanging out in the backyard, having a good time.
I was going to say, yeah, definitely a good crowd.
Yeah, a lot of new faces too, which is always good. That's one of the hardest things, is to get new people who want to turn up every time. And we've got a really good result this time around, which is always good.
Absolutely.
If what they say is nothing is forever, then what makes love the exception? So why are we so...
Well, that's about it, folks. My lungs are full of incense and good vibes. So I'm feeling pretty good about this whole thing. Back to you, team.
I would have really loved some more ballads there, but it looked like they had a fun time.
Well, if you want more music, here's the Mews.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Mews. We've got you sorted this week for gigs and gatherings, so let's crack in. Tonight sees out-of-towners Heaps Good Friends bring their feel-good synth hits to the rad stage for the gong leg of their Hug Me EP tour. With special guests the Francos and Gosh starting things off before the South Australians hit the stage, it's one you'll be spewing to miss. If you're looking to kick on or prefer the likes of some clangy house and dance music, then Heyday is the place for you, with Volume 8 of Jacuzzi Stew's weekly instalment. Described as your dose of late-night disco liberation, this week features IV Drip, as well as some secret special guests to get your feet moving to. Friday is another big one, with big hitters Boo Seeker returning to the gong to once again grace the Unibar stage. Get in quick before tickets fly off. Supports include local indie pop lads Good Lecker and Central Coast surf garage rockers The Moving Stills. Sure to be a mad time. A smaller affair at Rad is also on offer Friday night, with songboy Fletcher Gull laying down tracks with some help from supports Stay at Home Son, Scad Baby and Sam Allen. Support your local and get in early for a taste of some homegrown talent. Saturday night is also bringing the goods, with All Our Exes Live in Texas swinging by the gong for a special show. Hot off the recently dropped star-studded Splendor lineup, the four-part indie group are performing in the freshly built Spiegel tent in the Wollongong Arts Precinct for a one-of-a-kind show. These girls are killing it at the moment, winning the Best Blues and Roots album of 2017. Don't say we didn't warn ya. Saturday also has a spicy lineup at Rad Bar, a mates organised event spearheaded by three-piece alt-rock group Mild West. The boys at Mates have once again pulled it together. Joining the Mid-North Coast boys will be S-Benz, Dribs and Slinky Red rounding out the rock show. And it's nearing the end of North Gong Sunday sessions, but fear not, as this week's lineup certainly delivers. Sunday's gig sees a collab with local record label Spunk Records and the Yours and Ours crew, bringing together a loaded lineup of Flower Truck, Big White and Dave. What better way to spend a Sunday arvo than kicking back in the beer gardens and feasting your ears on fresh live music. And for metalheads, Reaper will be rocking Rad Bar on Sunday with help from Bastardizer, Reaver, Acroleus and Homewrecker. This will be loud and bone-shaking stuff. Monday night continues a big week for Rad, with Honest Crooks coming all the way from Tamworth to showcase their hardcore death metal. Underminer, Castdown, Apate and Napalm are also on the bill. A change of pace to round out the week. Step Panther will be bringing their shred rock garage pop tunes to Rad with special guests yet to be announced. Get to this one to warm up before hitting the Grand. It'll be wicked fun. And that's all for this week. Be sure to get down to a gig or two and stay tuned for more Mews each Thursday.
Hey guys, I'm Savannah and welcome back to UOWTV. Today we're going to be filming Horoscopes and we're going to be asking what the people really think. Keep in tune. Hey, thanks for being interviewed for UOWTV.
No worries.
So, can you tell me a little about what star sign you are and what you know about them?
From what I know, Aries are sort of leaders. They're go-getters, fearless.
Cancer.
Yes, alright, what about you?
I think I'm Scorpio, yeah.
So you think? You don't know?
November.
Alright.
I'm an Aquarius.
Aquarius. Yeah. What about you?
I'm a Capricorn.
I'm a Taurus.
I believe I'm an air sign. I'm not entirely sure though. I don't know a lot.
I am Earth sign. I think it's a goat.
Goat?
I think, or a ram.
What about you?
I know that mine's an Earth, but every time I tell a girl who likes star signs that I'm Taurus, they just call me boring.
There you go, guys.
I'm a Gemini, and all I know about that is that people think I'm a two-faced bitch.
And what about you?
I'm a Pisces, but I've never really looked into it, to be honest, so...
Have you ever read your weekly horoscope?
No, I do not read the newspaper at all.
I have a few times. It's always set to be like the evil one, Scorpios, so... I mean, yeah.
Sometimes I'll look in the magazines at work, just for fun, but I don't really, I take it with a grain of salt.
Alright, so have you ever had an encounter where your horoscope has actually occurred?
Not really, no. No, my life's really boring like that.
Oh, back in primary, I used to be called the crab because I leaned down and crouched and did some bad power shots. The way... Oh,
You got this.
They always used to nickname me Crab because I just lean down and just like wait for the ball to come down and then just slog it. And well, yeah, as you know, the Cancer is the Crab.
Yeah, there's some good correspondence there. What about you?
For a Scorpio, honestly, I have no recollection of what it could... I was no crouching tiger or anything like that, or crab, whatever you were.
I had a look at it one time and then I thought, maybe, but then I don't think so.
What about you?
You know what, sometimes it's kind of true and it's a little bit freaky, but yeah, like, it'll say something about education and something at uni will come up, but yeah, it's funny.
Mine always say that I'm kind of stubborn, and so yeah, I guess, because I am stubborn. But yeah, that's really it.
All horoscopes are really vague, so they definitely apply to everyone. You could pick a random horoscope and it'll just apply because it's such a... Someone you knew from 5 years ago might appear in public. It's like, fuck, that's some intellectual shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's too vague to not happen. You'll have a good day.
Alright guys, thank you so much for your input and I hope your horoscopes come true this week. Cheers.
Well, Stu, looks like you're not the only one that doesn't know about astrology.
I guess not, but look, I don't think it's too much of a problem. Are you a believer?
No, I'm not a believer in astrology, but what I do believe is the show is coming to a close. Thank you so much for joining us. We're not going to be here next week, but we will be here the week after, so we'll see you then. But for now, we'll leave you with a couple of clips from the Scavenger Hunt.
So we're here at Duck Pond Lawn, and we are just waiting for the next clue for the Scavenger Hunt to drop, and we're going to go see if we can find it and see how we go.
Here it is.
Okay, there it is. Come on, we're going to go.
Okay,
We're going. Lil, I think I f***ed up. I don't think it's here, Lil. No. That can't be the case. Surely. Those garden beds. This is the only place on campus. Where else is... Lil, I know where it is. Go on, Lil. What are we... We're going to go have a look at the engineering department, see if we can find that damn garden bed. I have a sneaking suspicion maybe around here.
Okay.
So this is good. Look at that. There it is.
That looks like identical to...
I think they've claimed it. I think we're done for.
You lost today, kid. But it doesn't mean you have to like it.